Okay, so hey Rainier. I assume it's pronounced Rainier because that's how I have a friend with the same, well, username for a name, and he says Rainier. But welcome to the show, guys. A lot of people right now, but it is 10, and we've got a ticker. Hopefully, we can get to 2 hours if I'm feeling up for it physically. But Fear and Greed Index, we are at 41, 5 point drop from yesterday, coinciding with sort of that volatility and drop we got on a lot of coins. So, no surprises there. We're moving slightly back toward fear, which could be a good opportunity to maybe scale our long positions, but we'll just see how it goes. Liquidation heat map, or not the heat map, the regular map, you can see that the sort of cumulative liquidations are easing out. They're moving towards the top side, which is interesting. 7 day still has us heavily imbalanced to the downside. So, at least based on your clusters of leverage, it looks like we're more likely to head down. If we go to the 30 day, I do believe we're going to get the same result, but notice that the cluster is only about here. So maybe around 90,000 might be an interesting place to take a very small long as we maybe push up on the 1 day. So going to our RSI heat map, 4 hour is neutral, but let's look at the 12 hour, get a better idea. We are still technically neutral, but nearing strong. SWE is overbought, so is virtual, and we did look at those two yesterday, so it might be something to look at again. We are on the 24 hour. Render is really sticking out, so let's look at render. Then on the 1 week, most are technically weak, so that gives us the idea that we're more likely to go long, at least on the 1 week. Looking at the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, which unfortunately did not load the way we wanted it to, we do see that a cluster of liquidity is around here at 91, which aligns with what we were looking at here, where the cluster sort of ends at around 90, 9661, so even closer to 91 than we saw. But let's look at the 3 day, which might give us a little bit more clarity. So we do have more short liquidations to the top side now compared to yesterday. We do have this cluster at around 91. Let's go back to the 1 week. And we have clusters going down from 91 all the way down to 89 and all the way down to 87 with more to the downside. So, with that said, I do think we at least get to check maybe 89 to 91. That seems like a really reasonable range to sort of expect price action to go, at least based on the fundamental analysis. And I see, is this get M8? I'm sorry, the names are truncated again. I'm trying to remember who goes to my lives. Again, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a real pleasure to interact with you guys. But I'll stop streaming this and let's get to the exciting stuff, which is actually over here on the chart. So let me just load it up. After this, oh, oopsie, I did not mean to share that. After this, I'm gonna need to feed my turtles because apparently, little did we realize that when we went on our wonderful trip to New Zealand after Christmas, no one has fed the turtles. Thankfully, they are alive, but they seem to be famished, so gotta feed them like double. Um, that's an exaggeration. I feed them the recommended amount still, but definitely gotta look out for them turtles. Yeah, you guys know that meme where it's like, I love turtles. I love turtles. Yeah. Anyways, here on the 5 minute, we do look bearish, and I fully expect our 1 hour to retest the dynamic reactor. But what I do like about what we're seeing, at least here on Bitcoin, is that looks down on 5 minute Y. 5 minute Y? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. So what I am seeing is that we're definitely gonna retest the 1 hour dynamic reactor. The last time we touched it, which was about, what is this? 2, so 12 plus plus 8, yeah, which is about no, it's 20 hours ago. No, 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 no. Yeah, no, no, no. Wow. Yeah, 12 plus 8. Okay, math, which was 20 hours ago. We did get a wick off of that. Now our chick magnet is placing us to the upside, and our 1 hour is technically on the way down. So what I kind of want to see here is basically when we touch this dynamic reactor, you see we got that bounce. We technically rejected off it, but now we're sort of retesting that again, which could be a decent setup. I'm not really sure what this is making. That said, if it's possible, if you take from the wick and do this, right, you do technically have a trend line, and if you draw from here, then technically you'd have a triangle if you take from the wick. Now I'm not a wick kind of guy when it comes to triangle drawings. I'm more of the body, so I'm not really gonna take that for what it's worth, right? But it is interesting, so I wanted to see how it reacts on the dynamic reactor, and then how we react here on the 5 minute. And interestingly enough, it's on the discount zone here in the 5 minutes, so it definitely could be a bounce, right? Could be a bounce. We'll just have to see. What is that little vibration in my voice? Um, we'll just have to see how it does here at the dynamic reactor. If we go to Ethereum, we do have smart measured move target all the way down here to about 3131, and that puts us at about our quantum, or in between our dynamic and quantum reactor. 1R is approaching oversold. We are getting bottoming bars, so it really might do the same thing as Bitcoin, which is come down here. Now, we didn't get a dynamic reactor test, but we are getting multiple signals of it being strong enough to bounce off. So I'm going to set an alert right above the 618, and I want to set a relative alert here. Hold on one. All right. Oh, welcome Helga. Welcome Joe BGR8. Thanks for joining me on the show. Um, yeah, as I was saying, I'm gonna send an alert between these two areas, above the 618 and above this line of support, because it's possible that we get a nice push to the downside, bounce off of this, or we just completely dump. It's one of the two. And if we get a nice reaction, we can probably enter a market long for a scalp, which will finally allow us to actually do what the show is called, which is live scalping. So thank goodness, at least there's some level of clarity with the whole name now. It's been like four streams coming, which is which is insane. But it is what it is sometimes. And we'll take profits at the chick magnet. Let's look at Solana, see if we're getting the same relative picture. Now our short unfortunately did not go through, but I'm going to leave that there first. And I'm going to slightly just move it to the side for us. And I'm going to modify our thing. So oh nope, I didn't mean to delete that. I'm just gonna lock that there and then go to the 1 hour. 1 hour, change this back to the 5 minutes. So like Ethereum, we do have a measured move target to about 131 or lower. Let's see if 131 aligns with more of the quantum reactor than it does with the dynamic reactor. Hey Kenal46, hey Dimitar, I'm seeing a lot of newer faces today, so that's lovely. Thank you guys for joining me on the stream. It's a lovely day to be alive, unlike yesterday where I was just not it. Yesterday was just not it. But we do see that it does align more with the quantum reactor, and we've got multiple supports here. We've got a bullish FEG, support, equilibrium, and a liquidity block. Even hidden bullish divs here on the 1 hour. So potentially we are looking at maybe an entry at the 618 dynamic reactor or the support at the near the liquidity block. So setting alerts there, and this could be something, right? This could be something pretty cool that we can capitalize on. We're going to XRP. When did I make this short? I don't think I... Yeah. So let's just delete that real quick. XRP, let me refresh our indicators, because what point is there using them if they're not going to be visible? It is oversold on here on the 5 minutes, not yet on the 1 hour. Support line FVG, pretty, that's a lot of activity actually, or actually a lot of deficit, not a lot of activity. Now, when we see these bars, it's very important to basically look for low deficit, low volume, and I'm not really seeing that. So let's maybe go to a higher time frame. Maybe that will give us a little bit more clarity. So again, low deficit, low volume. So something like this. And that's placing us at about 2.1138. So I'm going to put a horizontal line there just to mark it right around this area. I'm going to go back to the 1 hour, see if there's any confluence we can get. Because for those who might not have been on yesterday's stream or might not have watched how to use the volume profile, essentially the theory is that if you have low volume, low deficit, that means that smart money is very likely to enter there, because at that at that uh, at that range of price, uh, either side's going to be exhausted and they'll just need a little bit of volume to basically reverse price. And so as we set our line there, we're seeing that it's actually right at equilibrium. And what I'm seeing or noticing in terms of a pattern is that here on alts, entering in between the quanta and the dynamic reactor seems to be where price wants to settle for now, which is interesting. And so that's something I will consider, possibly as a swing, or maybe if we get it in this session. Speaking of which, my phone's just here. That's fantastic. Okay. All right, let's look at render, which was oh, okay. I feel it. Give me 1 sec. All right. I'm back. So, I guess what's really annoying about not only having to pause the stream to do my business, right? But basically because of my skin condition, I actually have a cut above my mouth, my bridge right here, and so when I blow, it actually also stings, which really sucks. But is what it is. Take it like a man. Okay, so looking at render, I mean our targets really put us to the downside, but our 5 minutes is exhausted, which is kind of funny now that I'm looking at it, because we're analyzing from 5 minutes to 12 hours, which is a little too, how do I put this? A little too low. So we should look closer. Um, I do think shorting render might be the way to go. So not only is it kind of weird, but basically we're getting to the downside here on render. So I'm gonna set an alert right here around this FEG 2.223, and I'm gonna set an alert here at 2.5. Here 2.407, because what I'm sort of expecting is something like a short at resistance, because I mean, a 12 hours looking pretty decent to short when it comes back. This could just be like here, then a retest back up here. Could be something. Now, that said, you do have your liquidity blocks a little higher and resistance a little higher. But your money flow did just kind of crashed out, and your momentum's magnitude is kind of intense right here. So again, something like this might not be entirely impossible, right? And then putting this above like that, or maybe slightly lower, could be something interesting to do. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, this does look like an area where smart money would enter. Something like this would be rather interesting, at least here on the 30 minutes, but we'll have to see if that's really going to pan out the way we want it to. So I'll set that as an idea for now, so not an official endorsement, guys. For those who are new to the stream, although it kind of looks like everyone here, save for maybe 2 or 3, is our regulars, but in any case, welcome, guys. I'm Langestrom. Thank you for joining me. I divide my ideas between ideas and endorsements. So this right here is just an idea, and what that means is it's a possibility. It's up to you whether you want to take it, but I'm just leaving it here to basically stew, because I don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet. Whereas when I endorse something, that means I've got the whole picture and I'm ready to execute along with you guys. So again, just an idea. You guys can mark it. I've set the alerts. And yeah, looks like this could be a place where smart money could enter. So could be interesting. It's going to be in between resistance and premium here in the 30 minutes, and then TP at the quantum reactor. Yeah, quantum reactor. No, that's a dynamic reactor with a chick magnet. Even lower like that. So yeah, just an idea, because I do think we bounce off the quantum reactor here, back up. So we'll see how it does. Another thing that we did want to look at was virtual, because of how it was basically next to render when we were doing our fundamental analysis at the start. And you know what? I really do notice. I noticed the excitement here. I was trying my best to be excited yesterday, but my nose was just killing me. So I do apologize for those who went on stream yesterday. It was genuinely pretty bad. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I was also really looking forward to seeing you guys after a whole week and the New Year celebration. But you know, this is the New Year's curse for some of us. But you know, if you start the New Year week, you'll probably end it strong, right? Probably. Anyways, looking at virtual, I mean, it's doing its thing. We have 11 minutes before market open. We are approaching an FVG here on the 12 hour, which also happens to be your liquidity block. And this whole area is going to act as basically a strong support because of the deficit. And we are going oversold soon, weakening bearish trend strength here on the CPO plus. So that does tell me that we could possibly look at a long. Definitely could. Something like this. And then lower like this or below the liquidity block. And then let's go to the 1 hour, see if what this translates to, and go here to the 5 minutes. I'm not hearing anything. That's not good. Can you guys hear me? I know Daga said he could. Okay, so it's not me. Oh no. Maybe you can try reconnecting. Okay, that is something I have to practice. Typing as fast as I can basically speak. I was never really good with that. More of an analog guy, kind of. More of an analog guy myself. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but actually looks oh, 5 minutes didn't load properly. Okay, so 5 minutes is oversold. We can probably tighten up a little bit, I'm thinking. Oh my goodness. 2.35. That's not bad. Tighten up a little more. Yeah, this ought to be a scalp. Yeah, this ought to be a scalp. But this could be promising, right? If the 1 hour really does go all the way down here, it could be promising. This is a support line, so it could hold us, right? But yeah, I mean, volatility could strike all the way down. It's not particularly a lot to the downside, about 2%. Checkmatic does say it's gonna go up. I mean, could be something, right? Let's go back to the 12 hour and maybe reduce this so it's actually useful for our applications. And we are entering at the 12 hour FVG. I think this could be something. Yeah, I think this could be something. Let's look here back at Bitcoin, see what it's doing. The thing is, Bitcoin also looks like it could be something, right? This area right here, it looks like it could be something. How's Ondo doing? Not that great. Um, I mean, we're definitely not as high as we were, but still up, and I don't expect us to go all the way back down here. Fingers crossed, anyways. Um, no, I don't expect this fully to go back here. Maybe halfway through, but I'm just gonna let the bad boy run because it's doing its thing. Let me check chat again, or right click. Maybe you have Langestrom on mute. That's kind of sad. I'm not hurt. Don't worry. Ooh, be still my heart. No, I'm kidding. It's okay. No worries. Uh, um, okay. Ada, I will say it's a good thing we did exit Ada. I mean, we were somewhat close to, I don't know, like 3/4 of the way to take full take profit, but you know, it is what it is sometimes. And I saw this, wanted to secure or lock in the profits that we got. And I know someone did like 75x, so good on them. I mean, make money. That's really the goal. Um, which one am I? Which one am I marking? English. Which one am I more confident in right now? I mean, there's 6 minutes to market open, so I do think it's best to maybe just wait for it. Really see what it be doing. Oh. Oh, I see. No, no worries, DagaDT. Uh, don't worry. Um, yeah, just being a little playful is all. It's all good. No worries. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Seriously. Uh, okay. What am I looking for here? Yeah. Love how I just said yeah, but I didn't really explain what I was looking for. But something like this could be. I was about to say something like this could be something, and then just realized how messy that sounds. But I'm thinking potentially along here with the stop loss below equilibrium is something you could execute, or we could execute rather, because I'm not gonna let you guys do something I call and not be in it. That's a little disingenuous, I would say. Uh, Especially if I'm giving the signals. Gotta stick my neck out as well. It's only worth something if you got skin in the game. So something like this could be worth looking at. Now we're just gonna wait to market open. We gotta emphasize the R's. And yeah, I'm just gonna actually type that price that I'm seeing, 19,941. Wait, wasn't that what we were looking at in terms? Okay, interesting. Ooh, this could be something. Okay, guys, I'm back. Whew. That was quite the nose blow. Oh, it's a little TMI on my end. I do apologize, but okay. Now this one I think I will endorse. So this is gonna be a scalp long 19941. Then sort of the reason is that when we were looking at our liquidation map earlier, for those that were in here, we're sort of looking at where the liquidation clusters are. And we can see that here in the 1 day, a major one starts about 9661, but the biggest one is around this area. So you can probably refine this a little bit, go to 9661, place it below about 89, right? But I fully expect some kind of bounce, because at least the 1 hour is telling us that we want to head up. This might go oversold. So let's adjust and modify this. Now, the liquidity was taken out for these, but it never really reached the most traded volume. So I think we can adjust this all the way down to equilibrium. All right, could be a nice little wick. And then we can lower it to something like this. Now that looks a little bit sexier to me, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, there's even a little support here. We can place it like that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I say perfect, but our stop's like 0.6% below. Yeah, real perfect, huh? Screen. Oh, my bad. Thank you for telling me, Vamshi. Appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes you guys can tell I'm still getting used to this streaming thing. So thank you for always interacting, guys. Really helps. Um, but yeah, uh, something like this, definitely. So we place it right below most traded volume here on the FEG, and if we go back to history on this 1 hour FEG, only about here was taken. I don't think we got the liquidity elsewhere. Yeah, so only about here, which means this hasn't been touched, and we have support right here. So I'm gonna put the stop loss about here, and let me run some. Actually, let's make this a little funny in terms of the percentage. There we go. Nice. Ooh, okay. I mean, that's how we got one of our Zek shorts, right? It was kind of just for gags, and then almost zero drawdown. Whew. That was a that was a oh my goodness. Thank goodness this is, okay, so when I post this online, right, so that it gets like placed into our what's this, class recording channel, I have to upload it through OC guy's channel, right? And it always asks you, is this video made for kids? So thank goodness I always have to declare that it's not, because damn. I feel like Uncle Roger. If you guys if you guys watch Nigel, was it Nang? Shoot, yeah, Nigel Nang, the comedian who plays Uncle Roger. Love the guy. Okay, so this is going to be just a very scalp long. I see sharing still. Don't see anything. Oh yeah, I'm sharing for sure. So yeah, let me put on. Let me get on Blowfin. Actually, let me calculate how much I should be putting here. Yeah, and you guys can check it real time. I am going to log this into the Langestrom calculator pinned to my channel, and that's what I use to basically log my trades, be 100% transparent with you guys. Yeah, it's also how I calculate the leverage with my strategy. It's saying use 282 leverage, which is insane. Don't use that. I'm gonna manually override that with about 100. I would not use 282x leverage. So manual override. Let's put it on waiting. And yeah, I'll put in the reason later. I'll go type the thing on Blurfin. So you guys get to see this first. And U.S. market did open, but I do expect this to drop more. So let's do this. 9073.6, 97.36. We're doing 100x love, but if you guys have open orders for me and you're stuck at 50x love, uh, just use just use 2% of your account. That should it should even out. So yeah, that'll be fine. But this is a scalp, so you can just use the normal amount if you want to play it a little safe, which is also completely fine. Um, so we are getting a reaction. It's not the kind of reaction we're fully expecting, or we want at least. Could be a fake out, depending on how we look at it. 5 minutes is oversold. Oh, ETH is telling us something. Oh, ETH came here, got to the reaction place, didn't go oversold, so I don't trust it. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm gonna put an order here. Okay. Okay. So I've now placed this. Do you use Bravo Essentials? I use some. Now, actually, no. Wait, Bravo Essentials is different from Whale Kit or Bravo Kit, right? I don't really use. Uh, I think Bravo Essentials has your Bravo like VRVP and whatnot. I don't really use that. It's not sort of my style, but if you use it, feel free to use it because it is a genuinely good indicator. I just find that this system is easier and more intuitive for me. V and V. Hold on, guys. One sec. Okay, guys, I'm back. I think I'll have to continue the rest of the stream with my camera closed. Uh, Apparently, it's taking up a little bit of bandwidth, so I hope this is fine. But I'll be here for sure, and I'll be watching the markets with you. So I'm expecting a more downside, based not only on our CPO plus but our fundamental analysis. Oh, hey, digital LRS. It's been a while. I see Ado's also here, or Ido. So, welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me. Again, fortunately, I do have to keep my camera off at least for this session, but I think we should be okay next week. It's really been a while. How's it going, digital? Thank you so much. Actually, so many people have asked about the this fluid zero line here on the MVP oscillator. It's helped out a lot of people, so thank you for sharing that last time. Yeah, so for those who don't know, yeah, they really have. So Digital is the guy who introduced it to me. So if there's anyone you guys have to thank for the Fluid Zero line, you gotta thank this guy. Yeah, I'm just the messenger, but he's the one that taught me. So all props to him. Uh, oh, our fiend's here. It's been a while. Welcome. So we have this sort of long down here. Now, while we are getting this move to the upside, there's still time on the 1 hour. I don't think this is real. I mean, it's relief on the 5 minutes, but looking at our fundamental analysis and even just our CPO plus and MVP oscillator, I do think we head down lower. I'm not sure what time it's gonna happen, but we at least have this. Do we get potentially killed here? Maybe. If not, then we probably won't. I mean, according to the log so far across all the trades we've done, there's a 79% chance that we'll be all right, and a 21% chance we won't. So I like those odds. So oh yeah, okay, okay. So let me just announce it here on my what's this? Let me announce it here on. Hold on. Let me announce it here in my channel, but let me look at what the chat is. Hi, I'm short Ada since morning. Nice, great job, man. Um, I mean, I did say take profit, but it looks like you made the right call with the short here, so good job. I will say though, I'd maybe take profits here at the chick magnet just because I do think we are headed up a little bit more before we get any sort of bigger drop, if that makes sense. So yeah. Oh sure. Or VNV, you can go to my channel. There's a YouTube and Google Drive link, and somewhere in the middle, I'd go through how to add it. Uh, I think it's great. Do I think it's 100% correct all the time? I mean, nothing's 100% correct all the time, right? But what I do enjoy about it is that it gives you a pretty good way of visualizing where it's gonna go. Now, I don't think it's reliable once price is near it. So, reliability and what that signal is always going to depend on who's looking at it, but it is useful to determine take profit levels, and I use it for that. But my bias is always going to be for these two, so I don't really use it as check magnets up here, then that's long. I don't use it for that logic. Yeah, yeah, it's more of a chick zone. I know J Bravo advertises it as by its name, a chick magnet. So price goes to the chick magnet. I think it's more of a chick zone personally, because the chick magnet can be up here, and then price could still be headed down. But when it bottoms out, that's when price heads up. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Daga DT. Always, always such a savior. Thank you so much for sending instructions. But yeah, I guess as a run through, we can probably do it right now, just so VNV can visualize it, because we got time. We got time to kill. So just go here, press the three dots, add indicator, MA ribbon. Some people don't have it, which is a little weird, but essentially what we're just looking for is the ability to add a moving average and the ability to basically customize the length. So we want a length of 144, change it to any color you'd like. For me, I also like a slightly thicker ribbon so it's easier to see. Then you can scroll all the way down, look for the second to the last, and there you go. You've got your fluid zero line. Now there are other settings, but I do like 144 the most from testing. So yeah, very simple, very easy, and incredible. Yeah, I mean, from the from the guy himself. Actually, some people ask me, what's the science behind using 144, and then I just go, I don't know. I like it though. Oh, yeah. That's what I asked. That's what I told them. Anyways, actually, someone asked me about silver yesterday, but it looks like I was spot on silver. So I forgot who asked, but I mean, technically speaking, within that area, it would have entered. Don't know if it would have been like if it would have gotten filled, because at least it's not saying it's filled here. But if theoretically it was filled, right? They'd be up pretty good, and if there was tokenized silver on Blowfin, we'd be up, guys. Yeah, and not a fortune teller. It's just the data. Yeah, but yeah, and we did say this arrows here at the chick magnet. We'll see if it goes there or if it goes below that. That said, Fluids Airline saying we are on the upper extremity, so it's easier to fall out. My flow is also decreasing. I see. Yeah, I know BTCC has. I've traded like tokenized stocks and gold before. I see that we also got a little bit more people. Hey, at Kashev, Zach. Sorry, I was looking at Jay Brignac while looking at Zach at the same time. Oh, Nabber. Love the dog. But yeah, welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. Unfortunately, my camera has to be off for bandwidth reasons, and if there's something weird with my voice, I still have a cold. So, just fighting through it, letting the immune system handle it because that's what biology says. I wish the immune system was faster, but is what it is sometimes. But yeah, it looks like, how are we doing? We are pushing up. So, do I think that we're gonna fail here? Probably not, but we'll see how it goes. Well, we're gonna review this long on the by the end of the stream, which is hopefully 1 hour 15 minutes from now, unless something goes horribly wrong and I have to cut it a little early, which I would hate because it's the first week of streaming on the new year. Don't want to cut things early, but if my cold kills me, then it kills me. Hey Zach, welcome. Yeah, it is pretty decent. So I actually do have it on as well. Um, Not sure why whale alerts aren't showing up. Could be because I have these off, so they I don't really know. But in any case, I just do whale SR and chick magnet. Pretty happy with that, and that's pretty much what I use it for. Yeah, I do think that uh, the contrarian style of trading could work with the the 9 count. I just don't really like the look of it, so that's why I don't have it on. And I'm yeah, and I tried, but it is what it is. Thank you so much, Napper. But you know, part of me really enjoys hanging out with you guys. You know, I only get to hang out with you guys technically 2 times a week, though. Alex and I are in discussion. We might bump it up to three. Uh, yeah, we might bump it up to three depending on my schedule, which does look a little better this semester. So, for context, I am still studying. I'm getting a bachelor's degree in economics, management economics. So, you know, uh, you guys can trust me generally. Uh, that I do have some economics know how, and I'm not just a YouTuber shilling some random course and saying random stuff like, oh, this Gaussian channel's gonna blah 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 blah. But yeah, uh, you know, it is what it is. Interesting. I'm sure there's a solution, okay. But okay. A little bit of jokes here and there, but let's see. We still have 10 minutes. Could just cancel this. But if we get a, because I mean we got rejected off equilibrium. If we can't get above this wick, the next candle's most likely gonna keel over, or at least start the process of keeling over. I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Interesting. Imagine putting 618 as the fluid zero lines length. It's gonna be funny. Actually, it's probably not even gonna move. Actually, just as a fun test, it's probably not gonna move at all. It's gonna be at zero the whole time. Yep. I mean, that is a pretty flat zero. It's not really useful, so best stick 144. But thank you so much, Digital. I will say that now. And looks like I am somewhat right. We did not close above the last wick. We even have a long wick. So for this guy to try and get above this or this is going to be incredibly difficult. More or less we are going to keel over, maybe close back on the dynamic. It is interesting though that we did bounce off it just like earlier 18 hours ago, but I don't know if we can sustain that. If we can sustain that, then we can maybe look into maybe taking a short elsewhere. I don't really want to take a long at this point because of the fact that we didn't get a ribbon twist. We're still pointed down. We're still overly bearish. I don't really want to take a long just yet, especially if our chick magnet is somewhat close to price action. That tells me that it's less likely to be a reliable place to take profits. Fluid static zero. That isn't that an oxymoron that it's fluid and static at the same time? Like, that's a it's kind of terrible oxymoron for trading. I got a fluid static zero line. Rough. Oh, Tekwo, welcome guys. Again, I apologize for keeping my camera off. Then again, I'm not sure if you guys fully enjoy seeing my face, but it is nice to hang out with you guys on a, I guess for some of you guys it's a Wednesday morning, for some of us it's a Wednesday evening. But yeah, thank you for joining me in this stream. Gotta go. Take care, VNV. I think he left already, or she. I'm not sure. But But you know, I use he because I'm a guy. It's natural to use he as a thing. But I know we've got, shoot, I forgot the username. But we have girls over here in Sharp Prime. We're inclusive. Cause yeah, let's go. Yeah. Actually, I was asking my girlfriend if she wanted to get into trading. You know, we'd set her up with another Chart Prime account. We'd buy um, access to Chart Prime or wait for Black Friday to get lifetime. And then she said, "Isn't it mostly guys who trade?" And I said, "That is incredibly misguided of you to say. Women can trade, okay?" And then we were just laughing the whole way home. Oh, no worry. My it's okay. Charts are more important. Don't worry, guys. Seriously, again, I'm just playing around. I'm kidding with y'all. I'm I'm not being that way. Probably why I'm not a YouTuber. Uh, but yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, is what it is. Okay. Let's see here. Um, um, it's not really moving the way we wanted to. Very long wick as well. But ideally, we need to, if we want this to sort of be like a double bottom, as we see as we see here, this candle has to close above the wick right here. Otherwise, you know, it is going to keel over again. Now, if we go to the 1 minute, which I normally do not do, I know some people do. I think Stock Scalping Samurai has infamously said that he trades the 1 minute all the time. Don't know if I should take him seriously, but I will take his word for it. I mean, you're at the reactors, we're at the point of control. So I think we're just gonna play here. Not excitingly fun. But it is what it is. Actually, I kind of want to get a consensus, an idea. Let's go with an idea. I kind of want to get an idea of what everyone's sort of in. Like, are you guys in longs or shorts or both? Just a general idea, and I'd appreciate if you guys just do a little chat. Are you more bullish? Are you more bearish? Are you in more longs or are you in more shorts or a mix of both? Let me know. Yeah. What I don't like is 1 minute on. What's this? 1 minute on a lot of shit coins because it just jumps. I really don't like that. Okay, so it looks like we are gonna push up. Let's go back to the 5 minutes. I see. But how about in if you trade like precious metals or stocks? I mean, I technically called a short on silver yesterday, but I mean, Blowfin doesn't have tokenized precious metals, so it is what it is. This would have been perfect too. No drawdown. Oh, interesting. I don't know how that appeared. Is it? Oh, because I held down really hard. Okay, I've never tried holding down really hard, so that's new. Uh, let's go back to BTC here. More longs on the NQ1. It's pretty much up only the last weeks. I see. 5 short, 5 long. Gotta love the spread. What did Thanos say? Perfectly balanced as all things should be. That's Dagger DT right there. Dagger DT's Thanos. Yeah. He's at the end game. I'm in long stonks and silver. Gotta love that stonks. I see. Nice. Okay, I am going to use some tissue again. I apologize. I gotta mute every so often. Okay, I'm back. Anyone here tried the bots or copy trading on Bluefin? Not me, not yet. I think Dag is on it. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get the 1 hour close in 44 seconds. Interested to see how this closes. I mean, with a long wick, that means you've got buying pressure. Okay, so we got our hourly close. So typically, when you get such long wicks like this, you want to fill up about 80 to 90% of these wicks, ideally. But that said, I'm not entirely sure if that's the smartest thing to do or to short, because there's not enough room. Maybe if the 5 minutes goes all the way up here, that would be something worth shorting. So we'll wait. I will, because the 5 minutes has confirmed a bearish cross, quantum above dynamic. So could be something. Although, yeah, maybe I should have been paying more attention and looking to potentially short. Or, if this goes here, fills the wick, then yeah. So we bounced off point of control. We are moving towards some bullish upside here on the 5 minutes. Sun alert at 92. See what happens. Let's explore some of our other options. It's actually an interesting place. Interesting. I think Swee's also something to look at. I will add to what Digital said. Another limitation with copy trading, at least on Blowfin, and what Alex and I realize going when trying to set it up, is that Blowfin doesn't allow you to hedge, or doesn't allow copy traders to hedge. So essentially, when you're copy trading someone on Blowfin, you're basically you're copying them as they only make one move in the market, so they can't do longs and shorts at the same time for a particular security. Now that could be good in terms of people who know that they are only good at doing longs or doing shorts, but that means you're basically missing out on half of the picture at a given moment. So, for example, if I have a long open on Bitcoin, I can't open a short on Bitcoin because there's already a long. And that means that you're going to have to, you're going in understanding that this person is only going to trade in one direction. And if they're wrong and they have dozens of trades and they're not great with risk management, you could lose everything. So, my nephew in law, it's actually really funny because my nephew's in law, there's two of them because my nieces got married. They're actually both older than me, which is really funny. So, Asian families, they can get confusing. But I'm sure a lot of different kinds of families also get confusing. But he actually put like $2,000 into copy trading just for fun. He checked it after a while, and because the markets were doing well, and he was up like to $6,000. He was like, "Oh my goodness, this is great! This is amazing." And he was like, "This copy trader is fantastic." And then he slept. When he woke up the next day, somehow it went to zero. So the person he was copying, uh, 3x the account in like a couple days, then in just a matter of 8 hours, somehow brought it down to zero, which is really funny. He was doing it on KuCoin, so he's like, I'm never copy trading again. So that's one thing you also have to worry about. Yeah, but if you are interested, I'd say it's definitely worth giving a shot. I can't really attest to because you can't meet those guys, unlike or interact with them or ask them questions, unlike Runair, or Nas or and I think Soul. You could tag Soul, but I don't really think he interacts as much anymore because I wasn't here when if he was. But in any case, you can ask us questions. You can interrogate sort of our logic, our rationale, how we look at the markets, what we think, and that's something that you're definitely not going to get from a copy trader and at an exchange. And they're not going to walk you through their process either. They just have a description saying "trust me, bro," which is not great. I mean, it's not great. So yeah, if you still want to go with it, just put a little bit of money. Don't put everything for sure, and know that that is the restriction, that they're only going to trade in one direction. Yeah, I see. Addy has joined. Super Metroid. Welcome, guys. Who else? Looks like it's the same people. So thanks for joining the show. Really appreciate it. Again, apologies for keeping cam off, but I'll have it fixed by next week. Trust me, bro. I got zero risk management. Trust me, bro. Cross margin, got nothing. Also, another thing is some traders on copy trade, at least with Blowfin, I know there's a feature where it's like you will they will force you to trade with the money or with the same margin they're trading at. So if you only put like, let's say $500, and then they use $500, you'll be forced to use your whole position. So even just like a 1% move to the downside could like destroy you. So that is also another thing to take note, and you have to make sure that you check that carefully. Which is again why we love Blowfin here at Chart Prime, but it is one of those things where we we're looking at it very carefully. So security on Blowfin's amazing. Uh, in terms of just, I mean, you guys hear about Binance and whatnot, but security on Blowfin's fantastic, and yeah, pretty decent rates as well, which is why Chart Prime loves Blowfin. And of course, it's how we were able to integrate Prime Automation with their APIs. But it is something that Blowfin's decided that's best to do, and there is logic with it, because if you can use the exact same margin, then of course, basically the trades become one for one. So it's also it's with the responsibility of the copy trader to make sure that they've like somehow espoused that to you or explained that to you through the description or the minimum that they require for you to have before entering, which some copy traders are really, they're really not great guys. So you really don't know. You really have to research. Of course, no worries. So actually, that's to be frank with you. I'm also not the type to market buy. So I've also explained that before on stream, that with my strategy, I basically like to put orders beforehand because I'm contrarian by nature. So I'm looking at where price is likely to go, where we're going to be exhausted, and where we're likely to have some sort of reversal. So I like putting orders ahead of time, and personally, market buys are not my strong suit. So fully relate. I know some people are better at market buys, and they can be profitable with it, right? But there's a part of me that like scratches a bit when I market buy. Like, really, you got the fees now. I know it's small relative to the ROI if it's successful, but I don't know. So totally get you. Yeah, you're not the only one, and experienced traders, at least I would say I'm experienced. It's a self proclamation right there. Um, so I don't know if that's a good thing, but experienced traders, I know, sort of experience the same thing. Yeah, don't worry. It's always a learning curve and a hurdle. Well, I mean that filled up 80% of the wick while we were looking at Sui. So I guess I'll just leave this open, and again, I should probably announce it already. I keep forgetting to. So let me just open up to Google. Um, There we go. Let me announce this properly for everyone. I'd say it's like a scalp-ish kind of thing. Just move this to the side just a little bit so I can access my channel. Go type this in. So we'll do 1 hour. Let's do this 1 hour. Then click on this one so it looks nice. It's not convoluted. There you go. Then we're going to save this image. Excuse me. And I will now type it in. So long BDC. Recommended leverage is 100. Entry price. Use only about 1 to 2%. 9736. 9736. 9105. So yeah, when I send my signals as well, I do think that it's also maybe easier for you guys because of the fact that I send them in advance, and so you can set the orders without sort of anxiety. And that's not to say that like the others just sends them out of nowhere and then suddenly trades active and that's bad. I'm not saying that, but I guess it's just that extra bit of comfort in knowing that if I do send a signal, you're more likely to be able to hop in and join on the trade. Okay, let me type the analysis here. So BTC 1H approaching oversold, FA showing clusters ending at 90,800. Entry on entry at equilibrium above support and 1H. Support. SL outside of structure. TP at the 1H chick magnet. Oh wait, no. Well, this here was wrong. Oopsie. Oh no, yeah, it's right. Oh no. Okay, what I have to look at is. Never mind. I gotta do a fib. My bad. Just draw a fib. Yeah, dynamic reactor would make sense. So this will be X 91 12, and yeah, let me attach the image. Right here. That will be interesting. Okay. And add crypto signal. Right, it is there. Perfect. Okay. Let me look. Is the soul short still valid? Actually, I do have to check in on that because we are still headed down. Now, liquidity wise, when I was making it, I do think it was okay, but not entirely sure at the moment. So I might have to call it, but I'll definitely signal tonight if I cancel it. And I think we are getting that moved down now. Yeah. Good morning, little fish. Welcome to the show. Um, but actually, we should. I think I will look at it. So yeah, thanks for bringing it up, Nabber. Um, I mean, part of me thinks that it's a great place to take a short because of like the 12 hour, right? So it could be something like this. Oh, why did I draw it like that? It's like a little squiggly. So something like this, right? And then you go up, then you sort of fail, then you go back here. We head and shoulders. I'm kidding. Or you could head up. Could be something like that. I mean, the confluence is still there to say that you are likely to see some resistance here, right? So that's sort of why I'm still keeping it open. Or I'm open to the idea for it and why I still have it. So it's not canceled just yet, but I will let you guys know if it is canceled. Yeah, I was. Yeah, we did. So yeah. Oh, look how ugly the squiggly line gets translated. But yeah. All right. Let's see here. It looks like we got a little trappy trap action uh, today, at least. Okay, so let's hope we don't get killed while we're doing this, but never know. So always open to the possibility that we do. Now testing the quantum reactor. But yeah, let's see. Let's see who is in the audience. Uh, oh, welcome, Feldged? Is that how you pronounce your name? Feldged? But in any case, welcome to the show. I'm Langstrom, and if you have any questions or things you want me to look at, just let me know. So, ow. Yeah, no. I think I'll cut it a little early, but not too early. I think I'll go on until uh in EST that would be 10:45. Go on 10:45 just because I I am feeling a little drowsy and a little bit in pain, but I should be okay to go on for another 25 minutes. And you guys are paying for this, so gotta get your money's worth. I'm not gonna. I know the value of money. I'm sure everyone here knows the value of money. So, I mean, we gotta do it, right? Okay, let's see here. Mm, we could push lower. We're not oversold yet. 1 hour will could push lower, but yeah, it's also why I didn't want to just abruptly maybe take a long here, because you know how even if we did get buying pressure, right, we did still close red, and I was saying that these wicks were sketchy. This one didn't close above it. And this one technically closed below the last wick. It did reach above it, but we closed below it, and so I found that a little sketchy myself. That's why I also don't trust what happens initially in market open. No, they really use that to basically fuck with you. Oh, hold on. Okay, I am back. Hey, Voicey, welcome. Uh, yeah. Sorry. I think we might have to do these very tiny breaks for the foreseeable week, next week of streaming if I don't get better from my cold. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes, still gotta make money even if you're sick. Otherwise, how else are you gonna eat? And it's not like you guys ever get that cold that's just annoying. You're not feverish. You're not weak. It's just there, and it's annoying when you have to speak to people and you just go, "Give me a sec." Okay, I'm back. And then when there's not a trash can anywhere, it's just annoying. Wick watching, yeah, I love Wick. When I see Wick, I I think Wick. I live and breathe Wick, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, looks. I mean, yeah, no. What's funny was during New Year, my mom and my sister kind of had like an episode. So they seem to be fine now, but I don't know why I have it. But it is what it is. Better for me not to have it then because who's gonna carry the luggages? Uh, if not the only guy in the room, which is me, of course. Yeah. Oh, fun fact. Speaking of luggages, on my trip, actually, one of our luggages lost like 3 wheels on the way home. So maybe that's why I'm a little sick. I was carrying it from end to end, bridal style carry or firefighter style carry, because it was broken. And if you tried to roll it, it just wouldn't work, and it was more annoying than dragging it. So I was just like carrying it like that while we got to some place, because at some part of the airport, right, you can't use the cart anymore, so you gotta like use your you gotta what do you call that, you gotta drag, push your push pull no you gotta use them wheels on their own as they're intended. I dodged that really well, but yeah, so maybe that's why. But yeah, actually, Digital, if you ever visit the Philippines, I will send you some of our tissue. It's like 100% cotton. Actually, I will turn on my camera even though it might lag. Shoot, this is this is a joke, but we actually do distribute this, so it's like 100% cotton, no chemicals, and you can do a water test. So if any of you guys ever use tissue or cotton tissue, um, you can check if it's actually 100% legit by doing a water test. And essentially, water, especially warm water, sort of excites any latent chemicals used in the process of creating that cotton tissue, and it'll have sort of a pungent or burnt smell. And if it doesn't, you know that it's legit. If it has, then you know that there's chemicals. But essentially, this is so safe you could eat it, but don't eat cotton because it has no nutritional value at all. But yeah, if you ever come to the Philippines, I will send you some. And if any of you come to the Philippines, I will send you some. Well, at least in Metro Manila. If you guys are vacationing in Paradise anywhere south, I don't know if I can get it there in time. But yeah, if you guys are ever here, just let me know. I will send you guys some stuff. Yeah. Our main business is really in retail, so actually baby products. So we're branching out to pets because of sort of the popularity of pets and targeting mothers more specifically rather than the needs of a baby. So we've actually had a lot of success from our cotton products. Very popular here in the Philippines as well. So yeah, that's also what I do. So I technically have what, 3 jobs, 4 if you count me being a student. So my first one, well, of course this, right? Second one is that. Third one is uh being secretary general of an organization, which is just fun and games until you have to deal with uh regulations and whatnot. And then fourth is being a student, if that counts. Fifth, if you include my thesis, which is starting a business, which is funny. But yeah, multiple jobs. It's the young life. I feel like once I get to my golden years, I'm definitely just gonna gonna chill. Probably not even take any cases as a lawyer, but we'll see. Yeah, no, that's why if I could, I would stream more, but it's the limitations. Looks like Bitcoin's just playing around here. We can leave it for now. Actually, if it closes here, you get a change of character, which is a little scary, SMC wise, because we have a long. But we'll see. Ethereum could also be a good thing, right? It might actually be a higher probability of bouncing compared to maybe BTC, which is below the or which would go below the quantum reactor. But otherwise, I think we should be okay for now. Uh, we should be okay. Virtual Zek Sui. Actually, the pronunciation is Sui, but everyone, including myself, just says Sui, which is actually a derivative of the Chinese word for water, which is shui, which is with a little h, because sui is the Japanese version of shui, just removing a bunch of letters here and there. So, fun fact. Arb. What's your personal thoughts on ETH? People are still so bullish on it, but I just don't see it. Not yet, anyway. I mean, okay. The thing with Ethereum for me is okay. If we're being genuinely honest, right? In terms of utility, stuff like Solana, Sui, even maybe Ton is better in terms of speed, cost, and whatnot compared to Ethereum, right? Hold on, I will. So the annoying part. Okay, I'm back. Like, genuinely, no one transfers USDT through Ethereum. You are insane if you transfer or use Ethereum for USDT. I mean, the fees are so high, right? You're better off with Solana using BNB, those kinds of things, right? But I will say the value in Ethereum is that it is by market cap the second biggest, and in terms of the in definitely the next in line for liquidity in terms of flow, right? From Bitcoin, it will always go to Ethereum because it's just where most of the next place where market cap is at. So my thoughts on Ethereum is I will just trade it as I see it. I don't really think that Ethereum's the oh my goodness, this is the future coin, because it's really not. If we're being completely honest, it's not. Utility wise, it's not as good as Solana. It's not even as good as Speed. Transactions in Ethereum are just downright absurdly expensive. Oh, lovely. Fees are not that high. That's great. That's great. Yeah, but I mean, apples to apples, oranges to oranges. I'll say I think we can all agree that Ethereum's fees are going to be higher than Solana's by a considerable margin. That's enough to basically convince people to hop over to Solana if they're transacting, right? Even I yes, fees might not be high right now, but are they high for Solana right now? I remember a period in time where it was just congested, but in any case, uh, I'll say that I'll just trade ETH as I see it. I do think it's the logical place for money to flow because that's what investors are either holding, and just the general nature of the fact that Bitcoin is where it is because it's Bitcoin. Like utility wise, it is garbage. I transferred Bitcoin and I had to wait like 30 minutes, and I 30 minutes with like 10 Our Fathers and 50 Hail Marys within that time to make sure that it got through. Like I know it got through, double check the address and whatnot, but because it's so slow, all you can do is just pray. So with that said, Ethereum is going to run if it runs because it's Ethereum and not because of its inherent speed or utility. Unlike some coins that will run because of that fact that it's inherently better at what it does. Langstrom, are you placing orders on an exchange separate screen or are your orders automatic? I place it on separately. So what I'm doing here is basically just a projection. So I think is it forecasting? Yeah, forecast. So just a projection of a long position. So I'm manually typing that in on another device. Uh, so there are exchanges where it lets you like directly trade on the screen itself. My only worry is that sometimes it gets a little finicky, which is why I don't really use the feature. So I just do the projection like here and then call it a day. Yeah, genuinely, like I was just because I was transacting with someone, right, and I was paying them in Bitcoin because it was pretty big. So we were just seated staring at our phones for what was an ungodly 30 minutes, like 30 minutes waiting time, but those 30 minutes felt like centuries. And we were both praying, right, because you lose that Bitcoin, it's gone. He's not getting it, I'm not getting it. Right? So we were just there. In my head, I'm like, our Father, who art in heaven. If any of you guys aren't Catholic, that's okay. Don't worry. But I'm a Catholic, so that's basically my 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 turn to really. I was just like, please go through. Then after 30 minutes, we were like, all right, handshake, and we go our separate ways. Both of us sighing. Everyone's happy. Really? All right, I'll give it a shot. That seems interesting. Hey, girl, happy New Year. Uh, the ceiling's always up, or the sky, or the moon. I don't know. Actually, no, the moon's always up. Actually, no, it depends on the rotation of the Earth, but you get the deal. Yeah. Uh, I say moon because it's evening here, but it's morning in the Western Hemisphere. But yeah, hope everyone's having a wonderful New Year. Now I still got 9 minutes on the show, so really we're just waiting if our entry gets hit. All right, so 5 minutes did just get a peak bottom here on the 5 minutes. What was interesting is we were contemplating an entry on the quantum reactor, but if it closes like below the last wick, then we are gonna get a continuation to the downside, I think. Oh no, we did a small test. Like, we were 100%. So again, with the story, uh, we were 100% sure that it was correct. Yeah, 100% sure. But just because it just took so long, then you can't help but just pray that it's right because it is what it is. Like it's an irrational fear. Like rationally and logically, it's correct. Small test before transaction, it's fine, right? But the waiting part is always the annoying, fear-inducing part. You just can't avoid it. No, it hasn't hit entry yet. Yeah, we're just waiting. Okay, but yeah, looks like I'm generally going back to form. I think I really don't know what was up yesterday. I just felt terrible with the. I don't know if it's an allergy either. It might be. It might be. I have to go see. But if this continues until next week, I'm going to see a doctor. Okay. Whew. Exactly. 30 minutes for a confirmed 0.00001 BTC, and then another 30 minutes for the confirmed uh one BTC. Just like ooh, just waiting for it. Oh goodness gracious. Yeah, it just takes a lot of time. But yeah, I'll actually look at what Daga said. I'll look into it for sure. Have you used it before, Daga? The what's that voice crack? As a teenager, voice cracks were all too common, so I thought it would disappear as an adult, but here it is. The fumbles and the voice cracks. Always gets you. You know, I was watching this video earlier on the way to work, right? And then it was just like a Chinese guy's application to become an American citizen, and then he did like a modified rendition of The Climb. Uh, was it by Miley Cyrus? But anyways, like my favorite part there was like, there ain't gonna be another Mustang. I drive a Ford like a real man should, and I was like, that those lyrics slap. Oh my goodness. And then I was just saying that out loud. Then when I fetched my girl, she was like, "What do you mean drive a Ford? You're this is you're driving you're not driving a Ford." And then I just go, "You ain't American, so you don't get it." And she was like, "What? What are you saying?" And then I said, "God bless America." So I don't know. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, this is recorded. I keep forgetting. So anyone can hear me sing again with a what is this, Southern? Yeah, because it's Southern hospitality, right? With a very terrible Southern accent. Oh my goodness. I use it and use it, yes, but you need a Lightning enabled wallet. Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll. Okay, it's a good thing you mentioned that. I'm going to have to. I was actually looking at what kind of wallet to get, so I will look at that for sure. Thank you, Dago. See, yeah, this is why interacting and crowdsourcing is incredibly important. You learn things every day. Uh, all right, still got 4 minutes on the show. Uh, let's see what's this attachment. USA. Oh yeah, no, that was part of the song too. He was like, what was the pre-chorus? Yeah, he was like, I gotta wait, hold on, gotta load up the accent. You know, when you're doing impressions, you gotta load it up first. So it's like, I gotta praise Christ, pledge allegiance to the flag. Well, there ain't gonna be another Mustang. I drive a Ford like a real man should. And then something about burgers uh and something else after that. Such a great rendition. I'm gonna play it on loop as I go to bed. Ooh. I'm not even an American citizen. Well, to be fair, my dad's an American citizen, but I'm a Filipino. So. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no feet. That's lovely. Okay, gotta look at that. But yeah, yeah. So if you guys ever wanna look up where that song's from, you gotta find the guy. He wears a blue jacket, and then he's the guy that goes like "ni howdy," because he's Chinese, and "ni hao" is hello in Mandarin. So you know the yeah. I shouldn't explain when you explain jokes. It's not funny. He's like "ni howdy," yeah, and then what else does he say? Yeah, he's like drive a Ford, a Raptor, a Mustang. Yeah, he's just freaking with the inflection on the upside on the tang. It's crazy. Yeah. All right. Take care, Nabber. Thank you for joining in. Have a wonderful day. Do you know if Chick Magnet is in chart front docs? I'm looking for it. Yeah, but it looks like we only have about 16 seconds left. But I'll keep monitoring it. I know that if we break past this, we get a change of character. Now, I do think we're gonna close below or near the last wick here, so I think we do get more downside depending on how our CPO plus looks after this. In fact, this is a very weak bounce. This is likely to just go heel back down. So I think we will see our entry hit eventually. Now, don't go too heavy on it. It's a scalp, so yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you have had a wonderful new year. Here's to more trades with you entering 2026. Uh, I'll definitely see what I can do to get better for next week. And yeah, expect more streams to come. Maybe one more stream in terms of a day. But so far, I think we'll retain the Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. EST schedule. With that said, I am Langstrom. Thank you for joining me. And always use a stop loss. I'll upload this later for sure. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful day ahead.